Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidut Kathuria. Let's get started. US President Donald Trump is hopeful that the US and European nations will reach a deal on Greenland that would satisfy both sides. He reiterated the need to acquire Greenland for national security, but refused to answer how far he was willing to go for it. When asked if he is ready to risk the breakup of NATO to take control of Greenland, Trump said the US and NATO allies would eventually reach an agreement on the future of Greenland. US President Donald Trump's Air Force One landed safely near Washington after facing minor electrical issues shortly after takeoff. The White House press secretary said Trump will now take his Davos trip in a new aircraft. Trump is traveling to join other world leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Trump has said his Davos speech will recap his success in the Oval Office. Russia and US envoys held a meeting on resolving the war in Ukraine on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos. Both sides described the talks as constructive. The discussions come following overnight strikes on Ukraine's energy grid, which crippled the capital. Thousands of homes and even the parliament building remain without heating and water in sub-zero temperatures. Russian envoy Kirill Dmitriev said more and more people now understand the fairness of the Russian position after talks with Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Hundreds of protesters walked out of school and off the job to march in downtown Los Angeles to decry President Trump's actions during his first year back in office. The Free America walkout at Los Angeles City Hall was among dozens of rallies taking place across Southern California and the nation. The event was coordinated by the Women's March and intended to demonstrate opposition to violent immigration and customs enforcement raids, among other measures by the Trump administration.
Immigrants are welcome here, no hate, no fear.
Residents in St. Paul, Minnesota surrounded vehicles of immigration agents and confronted them. This after the government urged a judge to reject efforts to stop the immigration enforcement surge that has roiled Minneapolis and St. Paul for weeks. The Justice Department called the state's lawsuit, filed soon after the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good by an immigration officer, legally frivolous. Good was shot by ICE agents on January 7th as she was moving her vehicle, which allegedly blocked a street where ICE officers were operating. The UK government has defended a deal to give the Chagos Islands to Mauritius and lease back a key military base. This after US President Donald Trump slammed the UK for its handling of the deal. Trump called the UK move an act of great stupidity. To this, the UK government reportedly said it would never compromise on national security. The UK signed a nearly $4 billion agreement in May last year, under which it would retain control of a UK-US joint military base on the largest of the islands, also known as Diego Garcia. Previously, the US has used the base to launch aircraft to bomb Afghanistan during the 2000s. US President Donald Trump said US officials believe they know where the last deceased hostage is being held in Gaza. Trump revealed this at a White House press briefing on his first-year accomplishments. This as Israel resisted moving to phase 2 of Trump's Gaza plan until Hamas returned the hostage's body and its weapons. Meanwhile, Israel demolished structures inside the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency's East Jerusalem compound after seizing the site last year. Fighting between Syrian forces and Kurdish fighters has come to a grinding halt Both sides have agreed to a 4-day ceasefire. During this 96-hour window, Syrian government and Kurdish forces will discuss integration of Hasaka province with the state. Both sides have formally accepted the ceasefire. Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces say they will not initiate combat until and unless they are attacked. Syria's defense ministry has said the ceasefire will be in effect and will last for 4 days. The decision comes after US urged Kurdish fighters to lay down their arms and accept the integration with Damascus. JD Vance and wife Usha Vance announced they're expecting their 4th child due in late July. The joint statement released by the couple says that both Usha and the baby are doing well. JD Vance and Usha met at Yale Law School. Both got married in 2014 and welcomed their first child, WION, in 2017. In 2020, they welcomed their second son, Vivek, and in 2021, they welcomed their daughter, Mirabel. In India's Greater Noida, a builder has been arrested for alleged homicide due to negligence in connection to the death of a 27-year-old software engineer. This comes after an FIR registered against 2 real estate developers over serious safety lapses in a construction site. The police arrested Abhay Kumar, one of the builders of the site where the young techie Yuvraj Mehta died of drowning after his car fell into a water-filled pit. The post-mortem report of the deceased reveals the cause of death as asphyxia, followed by cardiac arrest. Indian authorities have launched the annual dolphin census at Odisha's Chilika Lake, Asia's largest brackish water lagoon and a globally recognized wetland ecosystem. This is a significant step towards strengthening marine biodiversity conservation. Survey teams began operations at 6 a.m. in the morning. The multi-day exercise to continue until January 22nd. It aims to assess the population, distribution and movement patterns of dolphins across different sectors of the lagoon. Delhi's air quality has improved slightly, moving from the severe category to very poor. While authorities have lifted GRAP Stage 4 restrictions, but pollution levels remain dangerously high. Relief is to be expected only later this week. Yesterday, the city's average air quality index stood at 378, down from 410 the previous day. With the improvement, authorities rolled back GRAP Stage 4 measures, including the ban on BS4 trucks entering Delhi and hybrid schooling for senior students. However, restrictions on BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel light motor vehicles in the National Capital Region remain in force. As wildfires tear through parts of Chile, police canine units and volunteer teams are racing to provide emergency care to pets and other animals injured by the flames. In a fire-ravaged town, vets from Chile's investigative police have set up a mobile makeshift clinic to treat dogs. Cats and other animals rescued from the ash, rubble and toxic smoke. Teams treat animals with burned paws and whiskers, those suffering dehydration and eye infections caused by toxic fumes inside a van converted into a clinic. More than 500,000 people in southern and central Mozambique have been hit by flooding after weeks of heavy rain. United Nations say the floods have damaged roads and health facilities, leaving the main road linking Maputo to the rest of the country inaccessible. Heavy rains and storms have battered Mozambique and neighboring South Africa for weeks. According to authorities, at least 150 people have died from floods and extreme weather. flooding in Tunisia has killed at least 4 people, with one official reporting a critical condition. This as parts of the North African country experienced their heaviest rainfall in more than 70 years. Heavy flooding inundated homes, leaving residents surrounded by rising waters. As the deluge continues to seep indoors, interiors have suffered extensive damage. This has underscored the seriousness of the crisis, pointing to the mounting impact of extreme weather across the region. The northern lights illuminated the sky above Greenland's capital, Nuuk. Greenland has become a center of the global attention as US President Donald Trump continues to provoke a sweeping tariff fight with Europe to get his way in taking control of Greenland. Greenland is an excellent destination for viewing the northern lights, also known as aurora borealis, best seen during the dark winter months from September to April. Its activity peaks often around the equinoxes in March and September, when skies are the darkest. The Canary Wharf Winter Lights Festival returned for its 10th edition on January 20th. 16 light installations have been featured by artists from around the world. The free outdoor event in London includes immersive artworks around the theme Dreamscape. Artworks include a kaleidoscopic light box on a mirrored plinth, towering neon loops, and an illuminated hand-powered by AI. The festival runs until January 31st. Asian markets extended their sell-off for a third straight session as global investors grew anxious over US political risks and a sharp retreat from American assets. Stocks across the region fell, led by Japan's Nikkei, while Wall Street futures stabilized slightly after steep overnight losses in the US. Markets were rattled by renewed Sell America fears triggered by President Donald Trump's aggressive rhetoric on Greenland and fresh tariff threats towards Europe, raising concerns of a global trade war. Investors rushed into safe havens, pushing gold and silver to record highs. Bond markets showed tentative calm after a brutal rout. Japan's long-term yields pulled back from record highs, while US Treasury yields steadied. Oil prices fell in early Wednesday trade as worries over rising US crude inventories overshadowed a temporary shutdown at 2 major oil fields in Kazakhstan. Brent crude dropped more than 1% to around $64 a barrel. The market eased after last session's gains, despite Kazakhstan halting output at the giant Tengiz and Korolev fields due to power issues. The stoppage is seen as temporary, with production expected to resume within days. Adding pressure, traders are bracing for a build of about 1.7 million barrels in US crude inventories, with officials' data due later this week. Geopolitical risks remain in focus as President Donald Trump renewed tariff threats tied to Greenland and tensions with Iran stay elevated. Still, for now, supply concerns are taking a backseat to inventory and demand worries. Spot gold surged past the key milestone of $4,800 announced for the first time on Wednesday, extending its rally as investors piled into safe haven assets. Analysts say rising political uncertainty and growing unease over US policies have driven demand for bullion as a hedge against risk. A weaker US dollar has added further momentum, making gold more attractive to global investors. Market watchers note that confidence in US assets has been shaken, pushing gold into uncharted territory as one of the top beneficiaries of the current risk-off move. The US dollar weakened to multi-week lows as renewed political tensions revived the so-called Sell America trade. triggering a broad sell-off in US assets. The greenback fell sharply against the euro and Swiss franc as President Donald Trump renewed tariff threats tied to Greenland, unsettling investors and denting confidence in US leadership. The dollar index posted its worst daily drop in 6 weeks. Wall Street stocks slid to one-month lows and Treasury yields jumped, underscoring the move out of US assets. Bristol Myers Squibb has signed an agreement with Microsoft to use the tech company's AI-enabled radiology platform to help speed up early detection of lung cancer. The collaboration will deploy US Food and Drug Administration cleared radiology AI algorithms through Microsoft's Precision Imaging Network, which analyzes X-ray and CT images to help identify lung disease and is used by hospitals in the United States. Bristol Myers said the tools could help doctors spot hard to detect lung nodules and identify some patients at earlier stages of the disease. Britain is considering an Australian-style ban on social media to better protect children online, with Prime Minister Keir Starmer warning the risk being pulled into a world of endless scrolling, anxiety and comparison. Starmer said the government was prepared to take robust action a day after it said it would examine whether features such as infinite scrolling and the age at which children can access platforms should be restricted. The Labour government said it would examine evidence from around the world on suggested proposals, including looking at whether a social media ban for children would be effective and how best to make such a ban if it were imposed. According to a Reuters report, Taiwan aims to build a democratic high-tech supply chain with the United States and form a strategic AI partnership under the new tariffs deal it sealed with Washington last week. US President Donald Trump has pushed the major producer of semiconductors, which runs a large trade surplus with the United States, to invest more in the US, specifically in chips that power AI. Under the terms of the long-negotiated deal, chipmakers like TSMC that expand US production will incur a lower tariff on semiconductors or related manufacturing equipment and products they import into the US and will be able to import some items duty-free. The US Federal Trade Commission is seeking to revive its case against Meta Platforms over the acquisition of Instagram and WhatsApp. The FTC accuses Facebook's parent company of strengthening an illegal monopoly through the deals. The case is part of a broader crackdown on big tech that began during President Donald Trump's first term. The FTC says its position has not changed despite a court ruling last year dismissing the case. Regulators allege Meta violated antitrust laws when it brought Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014. Brazilian authorities have given Elon Musk's XAI 30 days to stop its Grok chatbot from circulating fake sexualized content. The order came from a joint statement by the Consumer Protection Agency, Data Protection Authority, and the Office of Federal Prosecutors. Authorities warn that they may take further administrative or judicial action if XAI fails to comply. XAI has been asked to develop technical measures to identify, review, and remove inappropriate content and accounts linked to it within 30 days. In tennis, two-time champion Aryna Sabalenka has secured a place in the third round of the Australian Open. The top seed, defeated by Zhou Xuan in the second round. Four-time Grand Slam winner Sabalenka raced to a 5-love lead against the qualifier Bai briefly fought back, breaking Sabalenka in the 7th game to show some resistance, but the Belarusian quickly found her rhythm and went on to win the match 6-3, 6-1.